Hello, my name is Lindsay Krebs, and I'm an author. I recently published a book to support child victims of sexual abuse. Um, I truly feel that this is a book that could help so many children and their families. So therefore, I am hoping to use the power of social media to continue to get the word out there regarding this book that could truly have an impact on so many. With a background in counseling, I have worked with a variety of children and their families, children who have been abused sexually, physically, emotionally, and helping them to work through what they've been through in addition to supporting their families. Because when a child is abused, it doesn't just impact the child, it impacts the entire family. So I'd like to share a little bit about the book with you. And I encourage you, if you or someone you know has a child who has been sexually abused, please consider sharing this video with them, sharing the information with them, because the reason that I wrote this is to help as many children and their families as humanly possible. That is my goal. And just as a note, this is a very, very difficult topic, and I went through painstaking measures to make sure that the words, the language that it is written in, is as child-friendly as humanly possible for such a traumatic topic. So I hope this is something that can potentially help you or someone you love. This is called It's Not Your Fault, and it is a story about a girl named Jordan, who begins the story saying she is 10 years old, but she's going to tell you about something that happened to her when she was only 5. That it's not easy to talk about, but it wasn't her fault, and she's hoping that it can help you. Her story of bravery. And the story continues with Jordan at age 5 and what she went through, as child-friendly as possible. Children who've been abused feel a variety of emotions. Anger and depression seem to be the top 2 emotions that are felt. In Jordan's case, she felt strong anger following her abuse, and she had every right to be angry. So it talks about how Jordan felt, and it also talks about how Jordan received therapy to help her cope with her anger and things that she learned to help manage her anger. It is very important for children who have been abused, in this case sexually abused, to receive support following their abuse. Children who don't receive support following this sort of trauma are more susceptible to having difficulties, social, all sorts of difficulties as they progress into adolescence as well as adulthood. So it's highly recommended that children who are abused receive support, whether it be therapy or whatever the case may be. I also obtained permission from a wonderful organization to use them in my book. They're called Bikers Against Child Abuse, and it's BACA for short. And the reason that they were created is to help children who have gone through awful, terrible things. If a child has to go to court, BACA members will accompany the child to court and help to empower them to speak up about what happened to them and to just make them feel safe in general. They're an amazing organization that I have had contact with on a variety of occasions, and they are currently in 47 states in the United States and 17 countries around the world. So definitely an amazing organization. And it continues to talk about Jordan's journey with BACA and what they do and how they helped her. And so that parents and caregivers are not going into this blind, I have included a great section of tips and guidance for parents and caregivers at the end of the book. I highly encourage you to read this information prior to reading the book with your child. Reason being is because once you read this with your child, and let me back up a step and say that this is not a book that you want to give to your child and have them read it alone. This is definitely something you want to read with them. But in reading it with them, there are things that you should be aware of prior to reading it with them. They may give you information. If this is not necessarily a child that has been sexually abused, but a child that is suspected of being sexually abused, my hope is that this book will help to bring that information out so that they can get the help that they need. And if you choose to pursue law enforcement means and press charges against the individual, that is entirely your choice, but that would give you the opportunity to do so, having that information from your child. In addition to that, I also included some detailed information about BACA, what they stand for, what they do, and how to locate your nearest chapter and to contact them. Okay? Again, this is called It's Not Your Fault. It is available on Amazon, and I have made it available in every location that Amazon would permit. I sincerely hope that if you know a child or someone else who has a child who has been sexually abused, to please share this video with them, to share the information with them, because there are far too few resources out there, and I did a lot of research prior to writing this book, and I don't seem to find anything out there specifically for the child who's been sexually abused or suspected of having been sexually abused, which is why I decided to write this particular type of book. So I hope this can be of help to you or someone you love, potentially. I encourage you to share the information. If you have been through this trauma with your child, it encompasses the entire family. So I hope that in addition to getting your child the help that they need, that you will help yourself as well. Don't forget yourself, because if you fall apart, you are not in any shape to provide your child with the help and support that they need. So it is very, very important. It is vital that you take care of yourself as well. And sometimes that means that the parents or caregivers need to seek therapy for themselves as well. And there is no shame in that, because as a parent and caregiver, if you are a child parent who has been sexually abused, you're going to be angry. You're going to have these feelings. And you cannot keep those inside. That is not healthy. So I hope that this book can help as many people as possible. Thank you so much, and take care.